Hey everybody, and welcome to the Rising Sun previews. This is day one of the previews where we're going to be going over Omens and Prophecies. So this is just a demonstration of the new cards. We're going to be playing a few games against hard AI just to show off how the previewed cards work. So our main new card here is River Shrine. And this has the type of Omen, and you'll notice it has this little yellow symbol on it. So how Omens work is they're a little bit like allies from the Ally expansion, or sorry, liaisons and allies. So as long as you have at least one Omen card that comes up in the kingdom, then you will need to add a prophecy to the kingdom. So prophecies are landscapes that are not shuffled in. Like the rest of the landscapes, they are added as long as any omens are present, and you always only have exactly one prophecy. So that explains what the sun tokens are basically doing that game, or at least removing the sun tokens. So when we play River Shrine, +1 sun, trash up to 2 cards from your hand at the start of cleanup. If you didn't gain any cards in your buy phase this turn, gain a card costing up to 4, so this will trash you cards, and then it gives you a workshop, assuming you didn't buy anything that turn. And the prophecy here, Rapid Expansion, says when you gain an action or treasure, set it aside and play it at the start of your next turn. So prophecies are sort of like a passive effect that is at the start of the game disabled. So here in this app it has a little foggy symbol over it to show you that this is not active. When the final token is removed, it becomes active and its effect immediately starts taking effect and will remain in effect for the rest of the game. Now the tokens that are present are global. So what that means is that there are just 5, and if anybody plays an Omen and removes one of the Sun tokens, then that will just be removed for everyone. And so it is sort of player controlled how fast these end up being removed. So it all depends on how much people wish to play the Omen cards. You can speed up the prophecy if you gain more Omen cards and play them, or you can choose not to. Prophecy is not guaranteed to actually trigger at all. So the number of tokens is fixed and changes by player count. There are 5 for 2 players, there are 8 for 3 players, there are 10 for 4 players, there are 12 for 5 players, and there are 13 for 6 players. So you'll notice none of those numbers divide evenly with the number of players that you have, and I'm pretty sure that is on purpose to prevent player 1 from always triggering them if everything else was the same. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the rest of the kingdom that we've got here. We do have, because we have Puka, it's got an heirloom, cursed gold, so one of our starting coppers has been replaced. And we got an event from Menagerie. Everything else here is completely random from other expansions. If you'd like to read these cards a little bit more, please just pause the video and take a look. So I do not notice any villagers, but we're mainly here to just demonstrate the cards. I'm not really necessarily looking to win particularly hard. So we start off with a 5 and we're going to have 4 on the next turn. So I will buy a River Shrine next turn, but what do I want to do with the 5? Sculptor might be pretty good actually, let's go with that. And then let's get a River Shrine to get some trashing started. Here we have 2. We could speed up our trashing a little bit more with a cage. Or maybe we'll go for the rat catcher. Let's go with the rat catcher instead. Perhaps cage is a little bit faster, maybe that would be better. And now we've got a 6. Well, we're going to be trashing very quickly soon. So actually, unusually, I might just take a gold and just to get our economy sorted very quickly. So here, sculpture, it will give me a villager if I gain a treasure. So, I gain it to my hand. I'd really like an alchemist, but I won't be able to afford it this turn, unfortunately. Which means that, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cage, and then I can play the River Shrine. Trash up to 2 cards. I'm going to trash these 2. And then I'm going to play Cage to set this aside. I'm not going to buy anything, and that will trigger River Shrine. So I get to buy something now this turn. Although I gained a card with Sculptor, it wasn't in my buy phase, so I now get to gain another card. And no village means a lot of these are not so nice. Let's just gain a silver. So the rapid expansion has now only got 4 tokens on it. The countdown has begun. I would really like a potion for some alchemists. I was hoping I was going to sculpt one, but I'll actually just buy one instead. I'm gaining a lot of curses. I do actually need to trash a little bit faster here. Which implies that perhaps I should get another River Shrine, maybe. Pass a card. What if I gave my opponent my cursed gold? Is that good or bad? I'm not sure. Let's give them a bunch of curses, shall we? I'm going to trash both of these. And then I will be buying an alchemist, so no River Shrine bonus for me. Here we get to trash a card, and then we get to trash some more. And we're not going to buy anything, and that means River Shrine will let me gain. Let's gain another silver, let's get some economy going. No chance of trashing these. And the potion isn't going to work to get an alchemist, so let's just gain another silver. And perhaps a single masquerade is fine. Might be worth having one. You can take the estate for now. It got trashed anyway. I will instead hand you the curse. And I am safe to... I might trash a River Shrine at this point, actually. I'm not going to play that because I have enough for an alchemist. Would I really want to gain a second potion? Possibly. What's the other alternative? Gain a silver? I'll take the potion and I'll get another alchemist. That will allow me to top deck the alchemist I played that turn as well. And trash this curse. Yeah, we want to be playing a River Shrine. Trashing is optional. We can just play it, you see, for the rapid expansion progress. We're only going to be buying one card, so let's get rid of the copper. Let's buy another alchemist. And we'll see if Hard AI lets me actually buy the last alchemist here. Or if they're going to take it. Oh, they duplicated sculptors. Okay, so Hard AI is gaining a lot of sculptors. I'm not sure which cards they want in large quantities. Perhaps they just want villagers. Interesting. So I do have villagers, so I can keep playing here. So this is a good turn. I don't really need 2 potions. Let's see if I sculpt something. What could I get? I could gain a treasure to get another villager. I can trash this. Now, see, I really wanted the alchemist, but at this point, because buys are in limited supply, I might just get the province. And that has triggered my cage, and that has put, I believe, a copper back into my hand, but we get to trash it with the rat catcher. We do have enough here for another province, so I should consider what, if anything, I would like to do potentially for next turn. So perhaps I have no potion, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to gain a potion. Ooh, no, that doesn't work because of rapid expansion. So Rapid Expansion has triggered. When you gain an action or treasure, set it aside, play it at the start of your next turn. So that yanked it away from Sculpture. Sculptor placed it directly into my hand, and then Rapid Expansion said no and dragged it off to set aside land. So that is mainly because it was directly gained to my hand. So that's actually not going to work. So gaining a potion isn't necessarily good here. I am fortunately not going to top deck all my alchemists. But I could consider something else for next turn. So for example, Duplicate will be played automatically. What I could do instead is I could Masquerade. Here you go. So this is a pass, not a gain, with Masquerade. So I do not need a River Shrine at this point. So what that means is that it doesn't count for Rapid Expansion. So now I get to top deck my alchemists, and I'll have the Duplicate put in play automatically at the start of next turn. You can have the silver, that's fine. So I'm gaining duplicates because I think I might need to place a lot of duchies. So what I could do is sculpt a silver for next turn, or even a potion. So I'm going to sculpt a potion. I'll get the villager for that, even though it will get set aside. I'm going to Masquerade to draw the potion that I had on top of my deck. I will trash that. I will gain the province. I will top deck these, and then I will have a potion put into play at the start of next turn. So I'm guaranteed to top deck my alchemists for another turn. Ratcatcher, no thank you. Let's just play all of these. So I found another potion. I can do Sculptor again to guarantee that I put something on top. It might be better off doing something like a silver at this point. You know what, I could get a cage. However, the cage will be played at the start of next turn, which isn't a great time to use cage. I'm going to set aside a bunch of provinces. I would really like to play this Masquerade, so I'm going to gain a silver this time. The Duplicate is there mainly for safety, to be honest. I've got to be careful with this Masquerade, actually. I don't need that. No one needs that. Perhaps I should have kept it in my deck. It was pretty safe, but it seemed fine to trash it. At this point, the game's good enough. I think I will just give you a potion. Oh. I got handed another one from Hard AI. Well, perfect, then. So Hard AI will struggle to catch up. They do have 2 duplicates on their tavern mat, but I think they do. They're just gaining more duplicates, so I'm assuming they're going to try to gain quite a lot of duchies very suddenly, so we do need to be careful about that. So I will have to draw more to try and hit 8 here. I do have the potion. If I want to play a Sculptor, I need to get a treasure now, so let's do that now. Let's take the silver. I'm not going to duplicate it. I will play the Masquerade. I think I'm going to have to give across a potion, unfortunately. Wow, okay. I wasn't expecting that, but that did allow me to continue with Province, which I think is very important here. So this is an unfortunate turn now, however. I don't think the reliability was guaranteed forever. So here comes their big duchy gain, as expected. They gained 3 duchies that turn. Now I do have 6 and a potion. I'm not going to be able to play anything else on this turn, so I could get 6. I'm not going to be able to hit Reap for 7, unfortunately. Interestingly, Reap wants to do the same thing that Rapid Expansion does. That is quite funny. I wonder if it's worth gaining a cage just in case. Maybe I should get another duplicate. I'll take the opportunity here to get another duplicate and put that in play. And then, because I have 6, I will play Duchy. I will gain another one. That's just... my opponent has quite a lot of duplicates available to them, so that's just for safety mostly. AI going even harder on duplicates. So eventually they might try to, yes, gain all the duchies and the estates. That's really the way in which they have to try and win this game. I have to hope that I draw all my alchemists here. Oh, not quite enough, unfortunately. I guess I'm giving an alchemist back. And I didn't get any money. That's a shame. I do have 7. I think it's best for me to just pick up the last duchy here. And at this point, we can get the last duplicates to end the game on a 3 pile. I think that's the quickest way to win. I haven't guaranteed a win, but it's very close at this point. So Hard AI has gone for coppers because I think they're not really sure what to do at this point. I think it's basically a win. Well, here's a province, but I don't need to do that. I can just 3 pile end, well, and gain 1 more province. And there we are. So there was the first game. That was River Shrine, trashing and also building up your deck, and rapid expansion, really messing with your turns. It really hurts gain and play, but allows you to get more for the next turn. Really lets you plan ahead once that activates. You know, obviously when you're playing physically, you will be moving the tokens, and it will be obvious when it triggered as well. I wasn't really paying attention. That's quite bad of me. But fortunately, the game handles it for me as well. All right, let's take a look now at the Second Kingdom. Hey, and welcome to the Second Kingdom. I see I've rolled the rising sun background here as well. I do believe this is the box art that you can see slightly in the background. So today, it's the same day. Here we're looking at Rustic Village. This is our omen for this game. +1 sun, +1 card, +2 actions, so very standard village. And then you may discard 2 cards for +1 card. So that is like the extra effect and the end of Vault. It's a nice way to push a little bit further into your deck, but it's not exceptional sifting. It's just a nice little bonus added onto a village there. And we have our prophecy is a panic. When you play a treasure, +2 buys, and when you discard 1 from play, return it to its pile. So that's quite a lot of buys. However, you lose your treasures when you play them. So if you're going for a treasure-based economy, you will have to actually buy them back. Now, it does give you lots of buys, so you can mass gain coppers if you need to. But this is sort of a double-edged sword. Maybe you want to get rid of all your treasures. Panic's a nice way to do that. But if you don't want to do that, it is possible to keep playing with treasures, but there will be some rounds of buying treasures back. You've got to be very careful. This one's quite an interesting one, actually, Panic. It's pretty cool. And we got a split pile. Patrician Emporium, and a Way of the Goat. Again, if you'd like to read these cards a little bit more and you're not familiar with them, please do pause the video. So what shall we do? Well, Rustic Village being a village makes it awkward to go for the Omen straight away. If we wanted to trash all of our coppers by using Panic, then it's going to be a little bit awkward to open with a village. We could play Way of the Goat, but then, you know, we're not making a contribution towards Panic. So maybe we don't want to open with Rustic Village straight away. Temple is also a fairly nice form of trashing, so we will do that. I do notice we do have Horn of Plenty. Horn of Plenty is a little bit awkward with Panic because we lose the Horn of Plenty every time. So it does get put back when we play it. Now we do have 3. We got a Temple. What do we want with it? How about a Lackeys? I like Lackeys. That's a nice start. You know, we don't have to play the Lackeys here. I think I would rather keep these villagers, and this turn is fairly dead anyway. Do I want a Way of the Goat this? Is that really worth a villager? I think getting thin fairly quickly is pretty good. So yeah, let's do that. It's easy to trash Lackeys. Now I will be getting a Rustic Village. Here we get to use Temple again. And that's all we get to do for that turn. Rustic Village, we're not going to discard through our cards because we should be able to draw our whole deck here. Now I am running out of money fairly quickly. I would like to buy more economy. There is a lot on the temple pile though. Perhaps for this one turn it is a good idea to take 5 points. That's quite a lot of points. And you know, with stuff like Horn of Plenty not really being necessarily that viable here, that's going to be tough, I think. Mining Road, interesting with Panic. When you gain a treasure, you may play it. You will then immediately lose the treasure, but you do get to like buy a copper for a bit of a boost this turn. Let's go with lackeys. Let's trash one of the temples, and we really need some money, so we're going to go for a silver here. Now, are there other ways for getting money with action cards? There's only Secluded Shrine. There is Mining Road. Maybe Mining Road will be very good here. We can't set it aside with Prince, unfortunately. City is also a possible source of money, but it's going to take a while to get there. Now, one other thing I could have done was I could have waved the goated this temple, actually. But you know what? We've got 5 here. I think it's time to get a Mining Road. So a Mining Road is a way that we can deal with Panic because it gives us money. And our opponent is getting Horn of Plenties, so if we rush towards triggering Panic, we could hurt hard AI because they'll just lose their Horn of Plenties. I think that would be a good idea for us. So let's do that. Not really got that much use for Rustic Village's extra effect because our deck is very thin at the moment. Now let's see, I'd like to get another Mining Road. So I have 2, 4, 5. I can trash a copper. Actually have 6 here. You know what? If I didn't trash the copper, actually, if I just don't play the temple, I have 7. I can get a Mining Road. And Emporium is another way to get money. So what if we go for that instead? Let's gain some patricians and work towards that, perhaps. So we've almost triggered Panic at this point. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can trash 1 copper. Now Temple is ready again. I should probably have thought more carefully about that. I would really like another lackeys. This Temple is very juicy, actually. I probably should have got it. Is Hard AI going to pick it up? They're not. Interesting. Well, treasures are bad now, so need to be careful. Well, they're not necessarily bad, but they're very risky now. I did get to draw the Mining Road with the Patrician. That's nice. I will lose these, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get one last trash in for an extra point. I will lose both of these. I'm going to take a temple, and maybe I want another silver for another turn. Maybe now is the chance to pick up that lackeys I always wanted. There we go. So our coppers and silvers there got returned. We have unless there was any we didn't draw, we have only action cards left. And Hard AI will lose any Horn of Plenties they play. So they've got a hand of 5 cards, but you notice they didn't choose to play the Horn of Plenties there. So Hard AI probably not too sure what to do in this instance. I will play the lackeys. It would be nice to have another village here, actually. Didn't really need to play that, that's fine. We can trash one of these temples. Now I've got 6, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to Mining Road. Is it worth gaining some coppers? I have got extra draw, and it would be nice to have a little bit more money next turn. In fact, I could get it this turn. Look at that. I can play that. I can pick up another Patrician, and of course I've got all these Mining Roads. I can play more coppers, and I can pick up another one. And then I will have another copper for next turn. I'd just like to have a little bit more money for next turn. Hopefully I get to take the Emporiums here. That would be quite nice. But I have opened them up. Maybe Hard AI will pick them up. Yes, there you go. They're cashing in. Did cash in a Horn of Plenty for another. I mean, fair. But that doesn't really do anything long term because they have to put the Horn of Plenty back. I do want all these Emporiums, but I don't think I'm going to get them all. Well, all of the remaining ones would be nice. Yeah, let's do it. Probably not smart. I probably should have kept the villager, but I'm trying not to think too hard. We'll leave that on top. If I have 9, I get to take an Emporium, and then I get to buy like a workers' village. I think that would be nice. Yeah, and then we get to play some of these. We get to pick up another lackeys. And we won't play that. We'll just have 1 left over for next turn. So we're doing very well on victory tokens at the moment, which is quite nice. What I could be doing is gaining coppers to trashed temple. Actually, that might be a good idea. Cities will kick off soon. They're going to be quite nice as well. They're another route that we can choose to go down. There we go. We did draw a mining road. We get to play one of these lackeys. And we didn't draw a village. I'm going to leave the villages on top, I think. Yeah, this is about as good as our turn's getting. It would have been really nice to have had an extra copper, but we can play one now. Take another Emporium. How many mining roads do we have? 4? I think I've played 4. I've bought 3 coppers. I could buy 1 more. Yes. We could take a silver for that, actually. Let's do that. More temple points, rich with the picking soon as well. I wonder what Hard AI is planning to do with the Horn of Plenties. Maybe they're seeing something I'm not. I really would like all the rest of these in this last Emporium, though. If I could get it, that would be really nice. Drew a mining road, fantastic. Drew an Emporium, brilliant. That was a whiff, but that's fine. Play the workers' village. Let's play a lackeys. Let's play another patrician. Play our rustic village. We can draw. I don't really want to trash. I mean, I could just trash a lackeys here, and it's not terrible. Get an extra point. Buy a temple? What have I got? 13 money. Should we just try and end the game? What's the fastest way to do that? I'd like to buy temple points while doing that, actually. That would be nice. So we're going to be buying a temple this turn. And we can gain 2 temples. And we'll just try and empty the temple pile quickly enough before our opponent cashes in. Now, the cities are very good for them. They are another source of money. They have only got 1. They also draw very well. But I think it would take too long to run them down. So let's go. I'm hoping the patrician will draw a bunch. It is not doing brilliant for me at the moment. Now what we can do here is push past the temples with a rustic village. We've got quite a lot of temples. Really don't want them, but we can play them and trash each other. Perfect. We can play this temple. I could get an extra point here, but I'm not going to. I'm going to spend a villager and another point. I'm going to take 3 temples. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the last one. Oh, I can. Look at that. Take the last temple. With the mining roads. And there we go. There was 3 piles before Hard AI could catch up. So that was panic. You know, we got to buy the coppers and then for an extra money and buys that turn, and then they would disappear. And we did have an alternative way to have money, but if we didn't, then, you know, we would just have to spend turns buying coppers, not playing them, so we could build up to bigger money and then like buy a province, or consider another way to end the game, perhaps. Panic sure is interesting. Very different games, as you saw there. Alright, well, I'll catch you in the 3rd kingdom. Okay, and here we are in Kingdom 3 for the day. And our new omen we will be revealing today is a poet. Poet has +1 sun, +1 card, +1 action. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it costs 3 or less, put it into your hand. So this is very similar to Patrician, what we saw last game. But whereas Patrician was if it costs 5 or more, Poet is if it costs 3 or less. Now, Poet itself costs 4, so without any cost reduction, it's not going to be able to draw itself. I do note that we do have Ferryman in this kingdom, so there's going to be a card associated with Ferryman, which we will see soon. Now, our prophecy for this game is Kind Emperor. At the start of your turn, and when you remove the last sun, gain an action to your hand. So the purpose for that is that gaining an action to your hand is something that you get to do straight away so that you're not punished for being the one to remove the last sun. If it didn't happen straight away and only at the start of every turn, if you triggered it, everyone else would get the benefit except for you. So with this extra clause, you as the triggerer do get the very first advantage from this. Now you notice that says gain an action to your hand. We did have, for example, Prince in the last game. You'll notice there's no cost restriction. We could absolutely gain Prince. Or what about Alchemist from the first game as well? We could just gain Alchemist, no need for potion. This will gain any action card that is available. So, not Quarry, not Ghost Town, but all of these other ones, fantastic. And of course, not Church, which is the card attached to Ferryman, because it will only gain from the supply, and Church is not in the supply. We also have the Academy Project. When you gain an action card, +1 villager. Well, excellent stuff. If we're going to be gaining a lot of action cards with Kind Emperor, that's going to work out well for us. And we've got Quarry for cost reduction. Now, interestingly, that's not going to work with Poet unless we have a way to play the Quarry at the start of the turn. It doesn't really look like we do, so... Now, we don't get to use Church to trash because it's locked behind Ferryman, but we will get to take a sacrifice. So what do we want to start with? Alternatively, we could get a Ghost Town and hope to hit 5, but what would we be doing? Getting a Ferryman? If we did that? I'm not sure that's the best use of Ghost Town, because I think, would we rather have sacrifice instead of Quarry? Straight away, well, Poet's pretty good early on as well. I don't know how much of a rush I'm really in for Quarries. Maybe a silver would be better. There doesn't really seem to be much better. Let's just go for silver for now. And although Poet is nice, you know what, actually, I think I will go for Ferryman instead of sacrifice. Let's get a Poet early. I'd really like to trigger Kind Emperor as soon as I can. Well, this wasn't a great start, but we do get the sacrifice anyway. And this is also a very bad start. We actually did bottom deck both of our opening buys there, so that's pretty rubbish. Let's get Ghost Town on the go then for a little bit more of a bonus. We've actually drawn an incredible turn here of 7, which I probably could have predicted, to be honest. And with only one buy. We sort of wanted the Church. That was what I was planning to do, so let's do that. If I'd have got an Academy, I could have got 2 villagers for that one gain. But sadly, I don't have one yet. I'm going to get another Ghost Town. Maybe we don't need villagers. Maybe Ghost Town is good enough. They would be nice, though. So Poet, drawing a copper. Very easy to find your starting cards with Poet. I'm going to tuck these estates aside. And we can get a 5 here, which seems pretty good. Let's get Academy, and then play the Ghost Town. Hardeo already has 4 villagers, and they are gaining a lot of council rooms. That's a little bit spooky, actually, that they're gaining so many. I'm going to trash an estate. Ferryman is going to push past. Draw the cards, then discard 1. What do I want to do here? Do I discard the estate and have enough for 5? Maybe I will get a Quarry, actually, if we've got council room. Well, what am I going to do with that? Yeah, you know what, with council room around Quarry, I've got a lot of buys. Maybe a Quarry is going to be pretty good. So I only need 4, so I'm going to discard this. Trash that. Gain the Quarry. Ghost Town. And Kind Emperor has now been triggered by their on hard AI on their turn. So, they gained a Vault to their hand straight away, and we're going to be able to gain a card on our turn. So hard AI already buying provinces is a little bit scary. They've not really been trashing. They've just been trying to draw a lot with a lot of villagers. So we'll see how that goes. We get to gain something to our hand. Well, if we're getting villagers when we do it, why not go for something like Council Room? I would really like a market square to start getting golds as well. Maybe the draw is better first. What are we going to draw into anyway? We get some buy with Council Room, so actually I think that is going to be pretty good. Yeah, there we go. And we can play, for example, our church. So I don't want to set aside just 1 copper this turn. Let's see, 2, 3, plus another 6 is 9. We're going to have quarry to reduce the cost. We're only going to have 2 buys, so we can drop a copper, I think. I'm going to trash that. In fact, I've got more money. I could have taken 3. I didn't think it through. I didn't consider what I was trashing. So I do want a market square. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of money here. You know what? I'm doing so well with draw. Perhaps a vault is going to be better, actually. Market square will give me more buys as well. I'll just take the province then, actually. I think I need to keep up with hard AI at this rate. This is going to end very quickly. If you've got a lot of draw, you can get a lot of money from vault. Look at that. They discarded 11 cards with vault. That is very scary. Are they going to be drawing back up that much? Oh, look, they're playing so many Council Rooms. I'm really drawing my entire hand already. Oh boy. 3 provinces and an estate. This is scary. They've drawn my whole hand for me, so I really didn't need to invest at all in card draw, really. That implies to me I need my own vault. And I could trash a card here, but actually I don't think I need to. Now that we've drawn up, I didn't really need to play that, actually, because I have vault. I should have considered playing the vault and then drawing up with Poet. I could have put a load of coppers in my deck. Let's see what we have to draw. We have like at least 5 cards, actually. We can even sacrifice the ferryman and draw more, so I think we can do like 6. I could have done 7, in fact, because if I sacrificed that, I did have an extra draw. So, me not really thinking hard enough. And that would have let me double province, unfortunately. Well, we're so far behind. If I gained all of these, I would tie. But obviously I can't do that. So, we have to just simply gain points. And we probably lose this last game. Hard AI definitely figured out the right thing to do a lot sooner than me. They didn't go to trash because the drawing is so ridiculous. Look at that, they just draw all of their starting cards massively. Exceptional draw. Technically not over yet, but let's be real, this is basically over at this point. I didn't get to do any market square trashing for golds, which is why I bought it, so that was very silly. I guess we're just going to Council Room. Looks like Hard AI's having a lot of fun doing that. I'd like to join in. Oh, well, we do still have... We certainly don't need these in our hand. We're not going to need the Ghost Town either. I think we just play it like this. There's no point gaining gold at this point. We don't need the church either. But these cards are not really doing anything. I guess we can play. We could have... This means we could have vaulted more. So, me not playing very well. And I think this is basically over. So we'll just let Hard AI, we'll give him the win. Who's going to win now? We should see what I like to call the score button of shame. So when you lose, you're going to see that the score button, there you go, pops up a little bit earlier. He ended the game very quickly, but if they play a big long turn, the score button shows up early. You know you've lost. So well done to Hard AI, beating me on that one. So Kind Emperor made that go very fast. Very, very easy to just gain strong draw cards, and Hard AI figured that out before I did. So, yeah, those were Omens and Prophecies. I really hope you enjoyed, and hope you look forward to tomorrow's previews. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.